Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video, and I am very happy to have with me Mr. Odd One Gaming and Mr. Cold Brew Gaming here. Hello. Because we are here to talk about the next CC event, the Hydra tournament. Hydra tournament, that's what's coming along, guys. We're going to be doing some Hydra fun on the test server, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited about this. I think it should be quite a bit of fun and a bit of challenge. So I figure first thing I can do is I'm going to explain to you guys what the rules are, and then we're going to, talk and chat a little bit about it and, what's kind of going down. But the general idea is we're going to be doing Brutal Hydra. We're going to be doing it as a tournament. There's 8 CCs competing. We've got Cold Brew, not his cat, just Cold Brew. We've got Odd One in here, myself, Hades, Scratch, MTG Jedi, and Nub Raids, as well as YST. So we got 8 of us in here. It's going to be a full tournament, right? 4 people on either side of the bracket, and we're going to be trying to get to the finish line. The fun twist, every time you beat somebody, you can steal one of their champions. We're going to have the draft live on YouTube on Monday. All the information that you guys are going to want to get, it's actually going to be on the website. I'm going to have a page up that's going to have all the dates and everything kind of going forward, because those are going to be a little bit in flux, having to deal with people's schedules and stuff. But typically what we're thinking is we're going to have round 1 on Thursday and Friday. We'll have the round 2 either Sunday or Monday following, and then round 3 either Thursday or Friday following that. But go to my website, DeadwoodJedi.com. You can check out the page there for the Hydra tournament, and you'll see all the dates posted. When we're about to go live on stream, I'll try to have that ready to go about a day before, so you can kind of check in and tune in so you don't miss out on what's going down. But I'm very excited. We're going to do a snake draft just like we always do. We're going to draft 6 champions. We can always drop one of them to pick somebody else up that hasn't been drafted if we need to adjust our teams. The runs are going to be live. You can reset in the first 20 turns if you don't like how it's going so far. We're going to have a player power limit. I think we're going to set it at 500,000, but obviously I want to get input from everybody before we decide officially on that. And I believe that's it. Acrizia is banned. We're still having debates on whether Grazure can be banned or not. Because some of us feel he's OP and some of us just really want to play with him.
I mean, you have to, right?
Yeah. If you ban a creature, you have to ban Iron Gut. So,
yeah.
Okay. Apparently, Iron Gut's gonna end up getting banned. It's a pretty consensus type of thing. So
unless I can pick first. If I can pick first, I'll get Iron Gut, and then it's fine.
Well, this was my plan. So thanks for screwing it all up, guys. Okay. Thanks for screwing it all up. So that's gonna be it, right? Acrizia and Iron Gut are probably gonna be banned. And those are the rules. I think that we have going forward. Part of why I wanted to explain this is, Odd One, it's your first time doing one of these CC events. I know you were super excited to be a part of this. I'm really happy to have you be a part of it too. So, yeah. How you feeling about everything?
Honestly, this was the reason why I was trying so hard to get to tier 3, because this was the thing that I loved the most about Raid, was the community thing. And was all the community challenges and the content creator challenges. That was the stuff that I always loved. They kept me enjoying this game. They kept me watching this game. And that's something that I know the community loves. So I was grinding hard to get here so I could be a part of this, because I'm loving it. It's just, it's just extra fun. So thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
Glad to have you. Cobra, how you feeling about this? This is like your 3rd or 4th event that you've been with us for now? It's getting old.
Yeah, I think I've been in most. Yeah, it's always fun, and this time around Hydra, I think it's going to be very different and much more interesting because of the amount of people competing. Yeah, and the draft is going to be much longer between each peak.
Yeah,
so the champions are going to be fewer available. So it's going to be interesting on what kind of champions are left by the 6th champion on what is going to be left to pick, really.
Well, that's going to be definitely going to be a challenge. I mean, we're going to have 8 competitors. So if you have the first pick in the draft, that also means you have the 16th pick. That's a big gap in there. Do you have any strategies that you're thinking about as far as going into the draft and getting prepared, or are you targeting anybody or any things?
Not really. You gotta basically have to go in with trying to get the right debuffs and the right buffs, and then figure out the champions and hopefully by the time your pick comes, something is going to be available that has what you're looking for. So, yeah, no real picks have gone through my mind yet, since everything is up in the air after the first 8 picks. Really.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I mean, what is it? I don't know, Oddwin, do you have any strategies that you're looking forward to? Anything that you're targeting as far as abilities go right off the jump?
I mean, honestly, there's a few key things that you always need to cover when it comes to Hydra to kind of make your run as successful as possible. But at the same time, there's some heads that you can kind of ignore them and still build a team. So it's gonna be tricky, because if we think about it, that's 48 champions that we need to have by the end.
Yeah.
In total.
lot.
So like after 48, we need to make the teams. And I didn't get the chance to look like some champions or prepare some ideas, but I do have, some favorites. Like if I can get 2-3 champions that I have in mind from my core team, the rest of the 3 ones towards the end could be anyone. So, it's all about, I think, getting that core. If you can get a solid core, everything else, there's plenty of options.
Okay. Okay. So I was looking.
Yeah, but you got to remember, if it's like a core of champions that everybody knows they're good, then everybody will be picking them or have them in mind to pick them. So,
That's true. The advantage for me is there's quite a few of the amazing Void Legendaries that are good for Hydra that I don't have. I'm not going to say which ones, but there's quite a few that I don't have. So
you don't even... It's actually better, because you might be used to building teams without those champions. So you're more experienced in that sense. If you get what I mean, like making teams with the lesser champions that can get you a good damage in brutal, because we're gonna be doing brutal, right?
Yes, we're gonna be doing.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yes, we're doing brutal.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping. I don't want to be cocky, but I'm hoping that if I get quite a few of my champions, I hope that we're gonna have an hour and a half to do the full run.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's gonna be the hardest part for me, is like, when it comes to clan boss, I'm so familiar with all the abilities and champions that I can very easily adjust on the fly. With Hydra, I'm like, I know what needs to be in there just like everybody else, but the full list of champions isn't as fresh on the brain. So it's like, if the ones I'm targeting get picked, I'm like, who am I getting to replace that, right? I feel like I have to go do some studying the next couple days here just to make sure that I'm ready to go for everybody that gets picked here. How do you guys feel about the stealing part? Is that something that excites you at all, or are you kind of just like, whatever, I'll deal with it when we get there?
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, of course you have to deal with that when you get there, because you're gonna either win or lose, and if you win, you have to pick correctly and wisely on what you're gonna be replacing with one of your champions, right?
Yeah. I think that's going to be. I'm personally terrified of facing somebody with the Duchess and beating them and not being able to take the Duchess. Right? Like that's like, I don't have her on my team. I can't use her if I took her. So like, what would be the point of that? So
you don't have a Duchess, right?
I very publicly and famously don't have a Duchess on my team. Nor do I have a Farrak and the Fat. Those are the two that everybody knows.
Oh yeah, Farrak and the Fat I can remember, but for some reason I thought you had a Duchess.
Nah. The raid gods have left me high and dry when it comes to that one. Well, when I was thinking about this, I do want to get in a little bit of the nitty gritty, but like when I was thinking about this draft, I was like, I knew we had to ban Acrizia because she's going to be too OP, right? You have her on your team, you're going to do great regardless of anything else. And I think Grazier does fall into that same category. But one of the things I was really, when I was trying to put this idea together, I was like, what do we do about the other damage dealers in this game? Because almost every team uses either a Geomancer, a Royal Guard, or a Husk, and what do you do since there's only those 3 champions in a draft like this? Is this going to be a reasonable thing? Are those champions going to be the ones that decide the full success or failures of this event? And I'm really curious, I think Cold, you and me were talking a little bit about this before, but do you feel like there's going to be enough options out there, damage dealing options out there for people? Or are those going to be like the premium picks, even though they're epics in this game right off the jump? There's a few others, right?
Yeah.
Michinaki and stuff. I don't know if the cat wants to, toss her
To
opinion.
say
That's what
something.
Cricket, so yeah, gave her opinion.
Yeah, it's that thing that I was talking about, like having those necessary picks. So when those are out of the game, what are you gonna pick? When Geomancer is no longer an available option, somebody else has it, and then Royal Guard, somebody else picks it. Husk, somebody else picks it. Then what is left really that does good amount of damage as an AOE? You have to be quick with your thinking, or maybe have a list of proper champions that can be alternatives to all those. And it's not an easy thing to actually play with those champions if you never played with those champions before, and actually make them work, because it's not that easy as, let's say, a Husk who has, he's got to provoke, big health pool, and big damage with the A2. So he's there's a reason why he's so good.
Yeah, easy.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, what about you, Odwin? What do you think? Because I know there are, obviously, like, you need certain things to deal with torment. You need certain things to deal with decay. You need, certain things to deal with poison. Like, what are the buffs or debuffs or damage or whatever that you're looking that think are going to be like I don't know, maybe the most coveted things going into this draft?
I think that the interesting thing that's going to happen is, there's going to be 8 of us. And I feel like everybody's going to prioritize a different role first. Like, for example, I don't know. I'm just, throw spitballing here. Maybe Hell Hades is going to prioritize, I want to get my Husk or Royal Guard first. Maybe Nobs is going to be like, I want to get my support first. I'm going to want to get my Crest Scout or something like that. So I feel that's going to make it extra interesting what people are going to focus first. But, you mentioned now the DPSs. If you think about it hardly, there's not too many max HP that can, especially when we're talking about Brutal. When you're talking about Brutal Hydra, any max HP does the best. HP Burn still does good, but any max HP is the best one. So, not being able to have that many options might switch up, even for me, now that we're talking about it, might switch up my tactic. It might be like, okay, I might actually have to think about it, pick a, right DPS first before I go into my support picks or whatnot,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask, can we use, so let's say I pick, as, again, as hypothetically speaking, let's say I pick a Royal Guard. Does that mean I can only use one, or are dupes allowed in this
No
one?
dupes. No dupes. Never any dupes.
So no dupes
No dupes.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
No dupes, yeah.
Because I know there was no dupes before, but this one's like...
No.
It makes sense to not use dupes because it makes it more interesting.
Yeah, 6 Royal Guards, that's it. Max HP, max
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely going to be part of the challenge, right? How do you create this team? Because I think that's the other part. Maybe the first 4 picks, right? That's what 30. First 4 picks. That's a lot, right? That's what 24 champs taken. I figure you're going to get 4 champs that you want, right? There's easily 24 fairly meta champions for this. But after that, I feel like everybody's going to be scrambling, especially because at that point you're going to have it kind of filled out, right? And you're going to have certain things that you need to finish that rules off. I'm real curious as to like block buffs. I know there's more than a few champions that can throw that out there, but how many of them are actually good? Like who's taking Norog, to fill that role for them? Like that's what I want to know.
Who's that?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's that?
I mean, you can feign ignorance. We all know. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Like, not many options for block buffs, and we are 8 people, so it's 8 champions.
At least
I can try, but I can't think of 8 AOE block buff champions right now that can also be used for Hydra.
Right. I mean, I can think of like,
I know the top picks, but
that's the thing.
I always fall. Yeah, I always fall to using Ugo, let's say, which is the best, I would say, block buffs with a defense down, big healing, leech on the A1. So he's such a huge champion, and it's an epic.
Yeah. Do you think Ugo goes in the first round? Second round?
Second round for sure. I don't think first. First is probably going to go to all the big legendaries. Like Krisk, Tuhanarak, Duchess, Sifi, probably.
Cardiel.
Sifi's going to be there. Cardiel, yeah. I don't have him, so I don't care. But
Don't tell them that.
But I wasn't going to say it. Yeah, I was going to say, don't say too much.
Yeah. Michinaki,
Yeah.
probably, I would imagine.
What's Michinaki? He's not that good. Don't talk about him.
Nah.
Let me get him.
Yeah, he sucks. Nobody should pick
He's
him.
bad. I tried him. It's like,
The
bro, he
worst.
barely did good in hard. It's like,
Ooh.
why would I try
I
him?
So
think the
weak.
best
He's a faction
best
war champ at
one
best.
will be the person who picks last, so that he can pick directly after. Maybe
8 picks,
hope I
8,
get
that's
9.
that.
gonna be the,
A nice combo. Well, I mean, the great thing about something
Yeah.
like that is you can actually start to pair some champions together, right? Which is really helpful too.
yeah.
Obviously that's kind of more of an arena thing these days, but like still, even in something like Hydra, I feel like having those pairings really makes a big difference and really starts to form that kind of core that you want around your champions, right?
Yeah.
Like I've got
Nobody for
go on.
Yeah, like for Hydra, it's the way that I usually look at it, like, if people ask me for advice or if I'm trying to rebuild something, you have two ways of looking at it. Either you go and focus per each head to prepare, something against it, or there are certain champions that are so good for Hydra that if you get the right champs that you want in a strong core of like 3 champions, the last 3 spots are easily covered, in my opinion. If you get the 3 strong ones, they cover yourself several buffs and debuffs, then the last 3 ones can be like one only does one thing, the next one does only one thing, and the last one again. If you grab some of those that cover several things, can make it so much easier.
I think you
And
got
there's
to
quite a few, even though
you make a really good point there. Question then becomes is like, what are you giving up by taking those few champions, right? So even if you
That's true.
can get a few multi-ability champions, are you giving up damage? What buffs, debuffs, abilities are you giving up that are those vital to what you're trying to do?
Exactly.
It's gonna be
It's
you're
finding
like,
the right
I
thing
know.
to like live at the end. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Okay, I smell what you're cooking there. That makes sense to me. Well, I think this is gonna be. I'm really excited, guys. I'm really excited about this.
Also a lot of RNG with the Hydra,
Yeah.
because it's gonna be like a run where maybe
Huge.
the head of mischief, manages to go through your resistance target and
Huge.
gets a ton of buffs, and then spreads everything, and it's basically a failed run.
Well, I think the other really interesting thing is that you only get one reset. So if you really take a risky pick and it backfires, it's going to backfire real bad.
Yeah.
What I also think is really interesting is that there's some rotation on the test server right now, but almost ineffably, while we're on the test server, the rotation will change. It like seems to happen every single time.
Oh.
I don't know what that's gonna be.
It happens. That's what I was thinking also.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't have control over it. I don't know if they can go back to, the rotation.
Exactly.
Different rotation.
Well, I kind of like it because
I
I'm
think they
like, you have
could.
to balance what you're drafting, and it'll be really interesting to see when that comes about, and how that impacts things. Because I don't know that you can draft for the rotation we have currently necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
maybe
can
we can
be-
ask. Yeah.
That can be really tricky for certain buffs and debuffs specifically. Like, if you're, as an example, if your block buffs champion is wrong affinity to head of mischief, that's a big problem if he's the only one that you rely on. So that's really important that we know what rotation is going to be before we draft, because that can completely change, what we choose.
Hey, that's gonna be the fun of it. Nothing like taking Ugo in round 2 and then realizing that the head of mischief's red affinity, right? Exactly what we all wanted. Yeah, 100%. So I think this is gonna be. I'm pretty excited about this whole event. Obviously, I wish I could have everybody here, but schedules are what they are, and we span
difficult. To
something like 15 different time zones or something ridiculous, right? Or like 10 of them. So it's a little bit hard for us all to get together at the same time, especially with so many.
I just got home
CCs.
from a party.
Right? Yeah.
That's why I'm so fancy.
It's almost
And
lunch
I'm ready
for me.
To go out. It's
nighttime for these fellas. It's a little bit hard to get everybody scheduled. But we are going to be live on YouTube Monday, 8 p.m. UTC. So I believe I think that's 7 hours ahead for me. Pretty sure. So I think that's like noon or 1 o'clock out here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's 11 p.m. my time.
Yeah, exactly.
Same.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's a little bit tricky trying to coordinate everything out here. Let me just double check. It's like almost 6 now, and it is 10:40. Yeah, so 7 hours ahead for me. So yeah, so it'll be 1 o'clock out in the in the West Coast. It'll be 4 p.m. on the East Coast, and it's probably going to take a little bit of time, right? These drafts typically take about an hour and a half. This is obviously going to be a considerably longer affair,
Grab
just
a
having more
snack.
people. So
Grab a snack,
yeah, grab a snack, hydrate.
a drink.
It should be a lot of fun, though. I'm really excited about it. So, guys, I just want to say thank you. Oh, I should also mention Plarium is donating a considerable amount of rewards. They do this every time, and I think it's absolutely fabulous. So, we won't be giving anything out for the draft itself, but for each round that we go through, I'm going to try and make sure that we have some rewards to give out to the people, so you guys can get a little something along the way, just for joining in. Our way of saying thank you for being there. Yeah, this should be fun. I wish you guys both the best of luck. Any predictions on who's going to win?
Whoever picks. I don't know. Who's going to have the key pick?
Hades has won every individual competition we've had so far. So my whole goal is just to make sure
but
he
it was
doesn't
clan
win.
boss. It was normal clan boss, not Hydra.
True.
Yeah.
We got Nub, the Hydra expert. Scratch
I
with
think
the
Nub-
whale
Nub
account.
likes the Hydra. I think Odd One also likes Hydra.
I didn't
Yeah,
want to
see.
call myself because I don't want to be cocky. So that's why I said I think Nub or Scratch might be the favorites for this one. I'm sorry if I'm, you guys are here, but
How dare you? How
The
dare
problem
you.
with me and Hydra is that I use all the big picks, right?
Yeah.
So I got used to
Together.
using those champions. Yeah, and I use
yeah,
them.
the same team, yeah.
The best champions, like Krisk, the Royal Guard, the Akrisia. I got used to with that, and I haven't really done a team with not using good champions
yeah, I think
for
that's where-
anything brutal and higher.
100%. I mean, just to give you
It's,
guys,
I think that's
uh,
where,
like
Nub
I've
comes
run
in
all
with,
three of
like,
my
different
teams.
idea.
I've run all three of my teams on auto behind us while we've been doing this. Not one of them has hit the top chest. So clearly, I should be the favorite on this.
I was gonna say something about it, but I was like, you know what? You're nice enough to invite me. I'm not gonna say anything about it. It's like, I love you. You're an awesome dude. Just
Well-
hit me up. I can give you some.
Okay, all right.
Some tips.
I'm kidding. I'm quite sure I'm
Before-
gonna suck so bad. I'm gonna suck so
Before-
bad.
Yeah, with these things, I've learned not to say anything about myself. Be humble, so I don't get humbled later.
Yes.
I like the other approach. Talk a lot of trash and then let what come. It's more fun for everybody involved.
I mean, I already know I'm gonna win. I'm just trying to, say about the other guys and stuff like that. I already have a
That's-
plan.
that's
It's all been
solid, too.
preparing
Just to keep
for. All
it-
I've been dreaming.
Hopefully,
That's
it's
solid, too.
competitive.
Fantastic.
I'm
Well,
gonna be so
guys, thank
bad.
you so much again for coming by, taking the time to be here and talk with
Thanks,
us.
man.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys on Monday. And that's the video. That's all we got. So Hydra tournament coming up. Check it out. Go to my website. There'll be a page up there where you guys can see all the information that you want. You'll see the tournament brackets. You'll see links for all the competitors and all their information. You definitely want that. You'll see the schedule up there as we have it. Some of these things, like I said, a lot of scheduling. So some of the actual times are going to be a little bit to be determined, but we're getting all set and ready to go. And so, guys, that's all we got. So till next we meet. Oh, and go subscribe to these two. They're amazing. They took the time to
Wasn't
be
there
here.
like a
Appreciate them.
SoundStripe link or something, a code that I heard about?
Oh yeah, SoundStripe.
Well,
I
yeah.
thought there was a code.
If you guys like the music that I didn't play in this video today, make sure to check out that SoundStripe link down below in the pinned comment description of this video.
You can just add it up with editing.
Yeah, let me put
Deadwood.
some music in right now. Oh God, it sounds so amazing, guys. Oh, that's so great. Yeah,
The best music I've ever heard.
Oh my
Where
God,
can I
where is
find
it
it,
from?
Deadwood?
why would we have a
Do you have
video
a link?
without music? Oh,
Where would I
man.
find it if I was watching this video now?
Yeah, you use DeadwoodJedi. Save
Need it for my
20%.
birthday.
Great. All right, guys.
20%?
20%, I think, for sure. Guys, thanks so much for stopping by. Till next we meet. We're gonna stop this now on the Deadwood Jedi.